Thank you for coming back. We're going to have a really impactful program, a beautiful one, more food, more networking. We're going to start with the Chief Program Officer, Maureen Knighton.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to those of you who were with us yesterday, and welcome for the first time for those of you who are joining us initially today. I only want to thank you again for being a part of this community, because the fact that you're in the room, your presence means that we are connected, means that we are working for common cause, means that we can benefit one another, and we can work collectively toward a shared vision of peace, prosperity, and justice for everyone. So thank you for being here. I mentioned yesterday that we have a newly minted, as I described him, program director for Building Bridges. Building Bridges is the program through which the Doris Duke Foundation is supporting MPAC Hollywood Bureau and the Muslim House. When I say newly minted, I really mean that. He started work on January 5th. So the good news is that you are getting to make your imprint on him at the very earliest part of his tenure at the Doris Duke Foundation. He is Zaki Barzinji, and we're so excited to have him here with us today.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. I'm not going to do the soothing and make you repeat it over and over again. I believe in Muslims of all stripes. My name is Zaki Barzinji, and on behalf of the Doris Duke Foundation, I'm so excited to welcome all of you to day 2 of the Muslim House. As you all have just heard, I am just 3 weeks into my new role as director of the Building and Bridges program at DDF. And while my first experience here at Sundance has been a lot to take in at once, I am so grateful that I got to kick off my time at Doris Duke with all of you here this weekend. In just the past few days, I've gotten to know so many of your stories, all of you in this room, many of you in this room, both the projects that you're working on as creatives, as well as your own personal backgrounds and life experiences, and of course, sort of the messy, beautiful blurring of the two different things. I've heard stories like a family drama about kunafa-based family crises. I've heard stories about a political drama about a man fighting for Muslim graveyard plots while guarding a deep secret. I heard a hilarious and maybe mortifying story about your old immigrant mother having sex. And a truly disturbing techno-horror thriller in which a young man texts his mother and says, "Mama, it's either me or the cats." That last one might just be a real thing that I overheard while hanging out with certain people over the course of being here at the Sundance. The point is, I am convinced, being here more than ever, that the world needs your stories. The world needs our stories. And in many ways, it's becoming harder and harder to share those stories. The funding to produce these stories is getting slashed due to things like industry consolidation and lots of hand-wringing over DEI initiatives. Technology has exploded, and suddenly decades of racist misrepresentation in media of our communities has become the data that new AI models are trained on, leading to a mass production, not just of slop, but of very Islamophobic slop. And of course, we're living in a time where many of those in power are demanding that we not believe what our own eyes see. Whether it's the starvation and mass murder of children in Gaza, or the cowardly execution of health workers right here in the United States. We are told not to believe those stories, even though we've seen them with our own eyes, even though they've been captured in stunning 8K resolution. It's important that we acknowledge these forces that seek to suppress and erase our stories. But it's also just as important that we not simply follow that script to its conclusion, because despair and apathy and resignation are exactly how those writers want the story to end. But the energy in this room, the creativity that's bursting at the seams, the solidarity and the warmth that connects all of us together, that's what gives me hope. And that's what gives me the hope and the confidence that our stories will not be erased. We have the talent, we have the resources, and we have the moral courage we need to reimagine and build new platforms that serve us, that reject the colonial imposition of a scarcity mindset. We have the courage to refuse to accept that a tech future controlled by a select few is inevitable. And we have the courage to underscore that the Muslim storytelling ecosystem takes an entire community to protect and thrive for generations to come. It's all of you in this room that are making that a reality. People like Layla at CAM, Heinel at Sundance, Iman and Aiza at ISF, and the mighty Sue Obeidi at MPAC Hollywood, all of the Building Bridges Fellows and grantees, and everyone else here who creates, produces, funds, supports, and fights for these stories to be told. I will close with a quote from the indigenous author Leslie Silko, who wrote, I will tell you something about stories. They aren't just for entertainment. Don't be fooled. They are all we have, you see. All we have to fight off illness and death. You don't have anything if you don't have the stories. Their evil is mighty, but it can't stand up to our stories. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I look forward to fighting alongside you for all of our stories to be told.